Hello everyone, Tom with Capo Fetish. Let's talk about some killer albums that came out of San Francisco from the year 1969. Let's start off with one here with a band that I think if you dig early Chicago or maybe those first couple Blood, Sweat, and Tears albums, you may like this band if you've never heard of them. And that is the group Sons of Champlain. Their album Loosen Up Naturally. This is a double album, their debut. And unlike Chicago and Blood, Sweat, and Tears, where it's a little more jazz-oriented, this is more R&B influence. The horns pretty much dominate the sound, whereas Chicago had a player like Terry Kath that was just playing these incredible lines over these horn sections. There isn't a lot of that on this album. There's definitely some guitar going on, but I think the horns feature predominantly in the mix. So it's all pretty much upbeat. If I had one kind of negative thing to say about this album is it's all kind of the same kind of vibe. It's all very upbeat kind of, R&B kind of flavor. There isn't a lot of diversion, like a lot of slow numbers or ballads. One of my favorite tracks happens to be the open one, 1982-A. It's fantastic, super, super catchy. These rousing kind of refrains, and then it goes down and breaks down into these portions throughout the song, which are really kind of unexpected and really cool. And then other fine tracks on here I dig are Misery Isn't Free. I love Hello Sunlight. That is really cool. And then side 4 is dedicated to an entire side-long track called Freedom at 14 minutes and 45 seconds. Really, really cool stuff. I wouldn't put it up there with the first Chicago album or even the first 2 Blood, Sweat, and Tears albums, but this definitely has a place, and it's really, really, really cool. The playing, the interplay between the musicians, it's all really, really fine stuff. So the Sons of Champlain, their album, debut album, Loosen Up Naturally from '69. An absolute funk classic. The Stand album by Sly and the Family Stone. Just not a bad moment on here. This pretty much cemented Sly as like an absolute epic star. Huge album here in '69. My favorite track out of all these tracks, though, is kind of a hidden track, more of a deep hidden track, and the track is called "Somebody's Watching You." There's just something about that that vocal verse melody that is so cool with those double track vocals. The melody's really, really unique, and the whole track I think is just very unique. And then of course you've got just these absolute dance classics like Sing a Simple Song, that groove and that beat, so infectious. The track Stand that starts the album off is so positive, and I Want to Take You Higher is so positive. Everyday People, great pop track. Even Joan Jett covered it back in the 80s. You got a 13-minute, 48-second funk workout, Sex Machine, and it ends with just a positive message. You can make it if you try. Incredible album here. Incredible album out of San Francisco from 1969. Sly and the Family Stones, Stand. A really fine debut and really unique album here. Really unique in just sound and vibe. It's a Beautiful Day, their debut album. You've got Patty Santos on vocals, her and violin player David LaFlamme on vocals, blending really well with the harmonies. The huge hit on here, Whitebird, is fantastic. There's the single edit, and then there's the long version on here at 6 minutes and 6 seconds. Some really cool tracks on here. Some really just this is a real headphone listen, I think. Just a really unique kind of combination of psych, folk, a little bit of proto-prog. Wasted Union Blues is a trippy track. I love the instrumental Bombay Calling. That is really, really a nice track. I think the whole thing is just a fantastic listening experience. If you've never heard it, give it about 3 or 4 listens and it'll really sink in. But a fantastic debut from '69 from It's a Beautiful Day. I think it eventually went gold. And of course, Whitebird was a huge hit. It's been featured in many shows. Another one from '69 that is absolutely stellar is the debut from Santana. And every time I hear the song Soul Sacrifice, I love the studio version, but there's something about that live version on Woodstock. If you watch the Woodstock film and you see Michael Shreve on drums, just absolutely amazing drum work. And then supposedly Carlos was high on acid. How did they get through that track? How did they get through that set and sound so amazing, right? I don't know how they do it. Don't know how they do it. But Evil Ways, of course, a classic. Shades of Time, Jingo, Persuasion, You Just Don't Care. Soul Sacrifice, though, is still my favorite on here, which ends the album. Fine, fine debut. I like Abraxas just a little bit better, but those first 2 or 3 Santana albums are just stellar. Stellar stuff. The last album that Marty Balin and Spencer Dryden would perform on in the initial incarnation of Jefferson Airplane, or should we say the second incarnation, the classic lineup. Fantastic album here from Jefferson Airplane. Sometimes I think this is my favorite. Sometimes I think After Bathing at Baxter's, they're completely different albums. This is a little more folky, a little more Americana, I guess you would say, even though I don't like that term that much. Definitely more folky, that they've kind of stripped away the psych at this point. Where do we start? We Can Be Together. What an anthem. What a great track. One of my favorites on the album, Good Shepherd, with some amazing guitar work from Jorma. I love those descending guitar lines in the middle of the track. And his guitar soloing. No one sounds like Jorma on guitar. He has his own technique, his own style, his own sound, and it's all over these early Jefferson Airplane albums. The Farm is a cool little folky track. Hey Frederick. Wooden Ships. I don't know if I like their version or CSN's better. I think their version, they really take it to another level than CSN. Even though I love CSN's version, there's just something really magical about their version of Wooden Ships, and the harmonies of Balin and Grace and Kantner, just absolute magic. And then Eskimo Blue Day, incredible vocal from Grace Slick, you know. And then of course the closer, Volunteers, just a near perfect Jefferson Airplane album, one of their greats. Volunteers from '69. Creedence Clearwater Revival was busy in '69. 3 albums in 1 year. John Fogerty was just on fire as a songwriter. Their first album in '69, Bayou Country. This is really their first album kind of hinted at this sound. This is the full-on, as we know it, Creedence Clearwater Revival sound. Starting out with Born on the Bayou. You got Bootleg, Graveyard Train, just an absolute belter of a cover of Good Golly Miss Molly, Penthouse Popper, Proud Mary, Keep on Chugling, which would end many a Creedence Clearwater Revival show. I don't know if any of you have seen the movie that came out a few years ago. I think it was on Netflix, Creedence Live at the Albert Hall in '70. Wow, what a show. I remember watching that and just going, they're one of the best raw rock and roll bands of all time. I mean, just guitar, bass, drum, 2 guitars, bass, drum, and that beltering voice of John Fogerty. What cracks me up too is the guitar chord that John Fogerty is using. It's literally, it looks like it's about 4 feet long, and it's stretching just enough to get into the guitar where you can stand at the mic, you know, and not feel like it's being pulled. Really, 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 it's just bizarre. Why wouldn't he use a longer chord? But anyway, that particular performance at Albert Hall is just absolutely stellar. I think they were at their peak. It's right before his brother left the band, Fogerty's brother. Anyway, just if you haven't seen Live at the Albert Hall, check it out. It really shows what an amazing live act Creedence Clearwater was in their heyday. So that was the first one in '69, Bayou Country. Then we got the second one released in '69, which is Green River, which is a personal favorite of mine. I think this is one of the greatest Creedence albums. Just the flow of it and the songs. Look at this track list. Green River, Commotion. What a great rocker. Tombstone Shadow. Wrote a Song for Everyone. What an amazing track. Bad Moon Rising on side 2, followed by Lodi. Cross Tie Walker, Sinister Purpose, and then The Nighttime is the Right Time. That is a 5-star album in my opinion. So, second album from Creedence from '69, Green River. Just great stuff. They could do no wrong during this period. And their third album from '69 is Willie and the Poor Boys, another fine album. 3 albums in 1 year. Down on the Corner, Came Out from the Sky, Cotton Fields, Fortunate Son, Midnight Special. Fantastic. And then probably my favorite of the bunch we're talking about today, I've mentioned it a few times over the past couple of years in various videos, is Elephant Mountain, the album by the Youngbloods. This is just an absolute personal fave of mine. So much good material on here. We lost Jesse Colin Young earlier this year as well. So just another amazing artist. Darkness, Darkness. There is really nothing quite like that opening track. It's just amazing with the violin and that guitar solo by Banana. We've got some really cool instrumental tracks on here, with heavy on the electric piano. On Sir Francis Drake is a fantastic instrumental. Sunlight, beautiful folk rock track by Jesse Colin Young. Just once you hear it, you won't get it out of your head. The Rain Song is beautiful. Sham, Ride the Wind ends the album, which is, I mentioned in another video about kind of jazz, jazz type of rock track, should I say. Just really, really cool vibes all over it. It goes on for about 6-7 minutes. Great driving song. Really, really another like near perfect album here out of San Francisco from '69. The Youngbloods, Elephant Mountain. If you've never heard it, check it out. And then while we're talking about San Francisco, let's throw in a couple cool live recordings from the Fillmore West, Bill Graham's Fillmore West, which I think was only open for about 4 years. There was a Fillmore East, Fillmore West. This is from San Francisco, from the Fillmore West. This is a cool Birds album called Live at the Fillmore in February '69 on the Columbia Legacy imprint. This is them pretty much taking their album, what's it called? Dr. Birds and Mr. Hyde Out on the Road. This is kind of the start of the latter day Birds with Clarence White on guitar. Really, really cool stuff. Great set. Nashville West, everything from National West to Pretty Boy Floyd to The Christian Life, This Wheel's on Fire, He Was a Friend of Mine, Chimes of Freedom. Really, really cool set list here. Incredible playing from Clarence White, just a gifted guitarist. And the Birds in a really interesting peak or period here of their career. So another highlight from '69, the Live at the Fillmore, February '69. And then there's this Kinks Live at the Fillmore West, which is one of their first shows back in the U.S. after being banned in '65. This is from November '69, playing in San Francisco's Fillmore West. Till the end of the day, last of the steam-powered trains. You're looking fine, Mr. Churchill says. Big Sky, you really got me. Love Me Till the Sunshine, Brainwashed, Milk Cow Blues, See My Friends, Tired of Waiting, Brainwashed, Louie Louie, and Victoria. Really fun listen here. You can probably pull that up online. So there you go. There's some fine, fine stuff from '69 out of San Francisco. If you have any more to add, put them in the comments section. As always, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you dig the content across the channel, press subscribe. It's absolutely free. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.